Good morning. My name is Pavindran son of Sukumaran. I'm from DKM4A. My metric ID is 23 DKM19F1015. So today I'm going to present about milling machine, which is based on safety procedures. So there's a lot of procedures before using that machine. So let's see. This video will explain how to be safe when using a metal center leaf and describe what steps or safety precautions you need to take before turning a machine on. First, eye protection must be worn when operating this machine. This could include wearing a suitable safety glasses, goggles or a visor. If you wear prescription glasses, then you must wear a pair of over specs. Second, there is to be no loose jewelry worn when operating this machine. This means removing items like watches, rings and bracelets from around the wrist, hand and fingers, as well as necklaces from around the neck. Third, there is to be no loose clothing worn whilst operating this machine. This means removing items like ties from around the neck and accessories like headphones, which if caught in rotating machinery could result in serious injury. Long sleeves also pose a potential hazard, so roll these up out of the way as shown. Fourth, there is to be no loose long hair when operating this machine all along. Hair must be tied back right out of the way. Fifth, the guard must be used over cover rotating machinery. Sixth, check the cutting tool being used is sharp and free from damage. Seventh, check the material being turned has been properly fitted into the through junk chuck and secured using a chuck key. And that the chuck E has not been left in the 3-door chuck but has been removed and returned to a safe area before starting. E. Check any cutting or shaping tool being used has been set to the correct height, has been secured in the tool post. Don't over tighten any of the bolts holding the tool in places as these could break them. Ninth, check that the safe working area around the machine is clear of any obstacles.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Qurratul and Balqis binti Abdul Aziz and my metric number is 33 DKM19F1002. In today's video, I will tell you guys about the equipment of milling machine. So, let's see.
Milling machine. The workpiece that we're gonna use. Adjustable V-block where we put the workpiece on top of it. Vernier caliper where we use it to measure the right measurement of the workpiece. Wire brush, we use it to brush the dirt and the dust after the workpiece is done. Then we use flat file, round file, and also half round file. It used to ensure the tidiness, neatness and quality of the workpiece result. And then sandpaper. It is to ensure the surface of the workpiece become more smoother. Lastly is spanner for adjustment at the milling machine.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Sabrina binti Mohd Tahar. My numeracy is 23 DKM19F1007 and I will be talking about the machine setup in milling machine.
First thing, we have to do a machine setup, which is the X, the Y and the Z axis are adjusted within the working table and also the milling machine. This process is also to ensure that the tool bit in the milling machine is adjusted with the wrench which is at the back and it is tightened to get it nice and snug. The in position and the out position is also being tested first within the tool bit, and it is indicates as a brake, which the tool bit is not moved when it is turned on, and when the brake is off, the tool bit is can be loose and can be taken out. Secondly, the wood table setup is also practiced with some tilt adjustment with the scale under the machine and some numbers of bolts that are holding this angle. The goal of trimming is to get this angle to be as close to 90 degrees as possible, and the best angle must be positioned toward the edge of the table so that it will get the best degrees of 90 degrees. The measuring tram on a mill head can be used by using a fixture and also a dial test indicator, and the indicator arm is fixed in the spindle to allow to swing the indicator from the edge of the table and also the measurement on each side of the table. The fixture is set up while the indicator is touched up, and it is adjusted the height of the head a little bit just to 0, and go and swing the indicator around to the opposite corner to do the same. The bolts in the head machine is being fixed by using the rubber mallet, and it is tightened firstly in an even pattern and very gradually to try to keep it from moving. And the indicator is checked back for the tightening of the bolt. So it is tightened because the reading is at 0 and the adjustment is done. The vise finally is installed by the screw and tighten the sides of the work table, and to get a dial test indicator to have the same reading at both ends of the jaw as we slide the table back and forth, which the jaw is parallel and the head moves, so it will make parallel cuts along the x-axis, and the vise is square by extension, and y-axis also square, and the vise is fixed to the work table. The third setup, which is the workpiece setup, and again the process for using the vise, you are going to add the vise and you are going to have the handle at the end of the vise and clamp it and rotate this around and go clamp on to it. And for the round stock workpiece, it is attached to the edge of the V block, and it sits perfectly into the one of the grooves and be able to use it in tight in the place. For the flat and big workpiece, it is put in the table and use the step blocks that has a little grooves in it and attach it to the strap clamp, and the T-nut is used to put into the slot, and then it is slide it down and put it the studs as it will hold tight up against it, and the stud is hold into the right height, and the small stud is attached if it was the right size of the stud, and it is screwed down to the workpiece so that the workpiece is tightened with the studs and it will not move at random places. This is also to ensure that the workpiece and the stud is strapped and hold it tight.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Kashifah Arifa binti Muhammad Jannatul Addne, and my matrix number is 23 DKM 19F1003. I will explain about standard operation procedure of milling machine. Safety glasses must be worn at all times in work areas. Appropriate protective footwear with substantial uppers must be worn. Rings and jewelry must not be worn. Long and loose hair must be contained or restrained. Coveralls, protective clothing or an apron is recommended. Gloves must not be worn when operating this machinery. Pre-operational safety checks. Number 1. Ensure no slip or trip hazards are present in workspaces and walkways. Number 2. Locate and ensure you are familiar with the operation of the on or off starter and e-stop. Number 3. Do not leave equipment on top of the machine. Number 4. Check that machine guards are in position. Number 5. Ensure cutter is in good condition and securely mounted. Number 6. Check coolant delivery system to allow for sufficient flow of coolant. Number 7. Faulty equipment must not be used. Immediately report suspect machinery. Next, operational safety checks. Number 1. Keep clear of moving machine parts. Number 2. Never leave the machine running unattended. Number 3. Follow correct clamping procedures. Keep overhangs as small as possible and check workpiece is secure. Number 4. Set the correct speed to suit the cutter diameter, the depth of cut and the material. Number 5. Before making adjustments and measurements or before cleaning swarf accumulations, switch off and bring the machine to a complete standstill. Housekeeping. Number 1. Switch off the machine. Number 2. Remove milling cutters and store them safely. Number 3. Leave the machine and work area in a safe, clean and tidy state. There are some potential hazards such as moving components, sharp cutters, metal splinters and burrs, entanglement, eye injuries, flying debris and skin irritation.